to me. Well, there's a scrap of broke. We've used all of this already. I don't think we're gonna use
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
I think I picked up the wrong one.
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
Shoot.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
I keep hitting the wrong buttons.
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy.
But remember what the note said.
Frick.
What time did it say to me?
Ugh!
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
What?
Shoot!
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had
I
the
don't think
note,
this
right?
is right, but I'm gonna try it.
Then the person it was must have been Happy.
But remember what the note said.
Yeah.
Shoot!
Can I have a hint?
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
Oh, I think.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
Oh, it's too
The time
fast.
doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
I keep
Puppy had the
missing.
note, right? Then the person it was must have been Happy.
Give
But
me the
remember what the
second.
note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m. The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok. Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
What?
Shoot!
Puppy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy.
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter. The note has nothing to do with TikTok.
There. I thought I was being smart, but I just.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
What the hell is he
The
talking about?
note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place, written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
I agree, that's what I was trying to prove, but...
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
I was at the
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
proof that Hifumi sold it. Oh yeah, okay. This is where I need to give them the proof. Paper.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about
Oh,
this,
it's on auto.
the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka,
okay.
while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yes.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure.
But he
In
had to have been
fact,
working with
He
something.
was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Sorry,
No, he's not alive. He's either working
When
with
we found
someone
him in the
or
repository,
he
Hifumi was truly
also, like,
and completely
someone
dead.
took the opportunity to murder
The
him.
second body discovery announcement proves that.
That's what I think.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true
How do we
killer.
vote on this?
He was
because
killed in the repository. So he must have been killed
Do they have
not
to
long
vote
after
for both?
transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
Who found it?
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Didn't Celeste find
Wait.
it?
But me and Sakura were together.
They're all.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Whoa!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was
Well,
killed
there's
in the
one that was locked,
repository,
right?
the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Everyone's so mean to each
It's
other.
packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Was it that washed one? The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. Dude, this one's long. Are they usually this long?
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
I didn't read the rest of it. I messed up. Oof, I am gonna...
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Was it just maybe Justice? Well, whatever it is, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No,
I just have to do it. You gotta be patient.
the murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones.
Yeah,
I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
Don't put a lot
If
of work.
that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Surely we're not going to use Spotless Hammer again, right?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
think I know what to do. This is gonna be
Based on the
right.
rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true,
No.
it is simply
No!
impossible that two people work together on this.
Hit the wrong button.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
Sorry,
But that
guys.
only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the act can, assuming the rule holds true.
No, that's wrong.
I'm on my last half a star.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Unless they tricked them and said that there was a way for them
However,
to both
if there were some
escape.
potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us that the two murders were the same, that was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at a series of connected events but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko is really amazing. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Yeah, I know. That's why I said she should be the main character.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Okay, I think it's Celeste. Even though it didn't give me.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Hifumi was up her butt like crazy.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him. That I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot!
Whoa!
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support
Her accent disappeared. Did you hear that?
So,
it is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
That's the only thing. Yeah, they.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Oh, okay, dang.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
They're not adults either. They're
If we
teenagers,
accept that
just so you
Hifumi
know.
was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
She looks shook over there. I saw, yeah, she saw a shadow, and it wasn't going in a direction that made sense.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste was wrong. It was rather intense scream. I saw him in a strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs, so he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In
It is
fact,
very
Celeste
cunning,
was
though. Like, she
precisely
really
the one who
thought
proposed
this
that we
up.
split up.
She's pretty smart. Oh, I should have read that. We haven't seen this before. Very well, because I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual. Yeah.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we are on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing.
Got nothing to say now, do you?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I was certainly not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I mean, they all assumed he had been murdered. But that's okay.
I don't believe it! Everything!
I don't think that was a
The
big,
whole
like,
thing was
woo,
one big act.
evidence, but
You were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
Indeed.
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must be really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Did she say that
Then pay
before?
attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to
knew
discover
about the
Taka's
death
body
of
in the
Taka?
equipment room.
Am I
Then
remembering?
Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
He's good at
Yeah, I
remembering
see what you're
stuff.
talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
I'd act like I don't know what he's talking about. If I was... Reactor says Celeste's comment doesn't make any sense. But what is he alluding to? He just said it! Why do we have to do this? He made it perfectly clear.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oh, yeah, I think I need this string.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious what was so strange about Celeste's comment.
All I said was, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be positive. We are all going to die here. We are going to die. Just like those guys died.
No, it's wrong.
Oh, that's all right. Break.
That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the
He
costumed
must have been
villain
carrying
dragging Hifumi away?
the unconscious other guy.
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? It wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. The only other possibility.
I got it! It's not a picture of the
They were
suspect dragging
dancing.
Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
You know he was in on it.
I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
So let's say she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Is it really possible? Here we go again. Oh my god, how many of these are there?
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Okay, I think it's the Robo Justice costume because he can't bend at the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
Yeah.
No, it's wrong.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Until they can't bend at the waist.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Gosh, so much thought went
Celeste
into
and
this one.
Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it.
For high schoolers, they have very complex
That's how they
murders.
were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then,
You're mad.
I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Uh-oh.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh, she's going off. We've caught her.
Celeste? Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yes.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro 𝒑𝒊𝒏𝒅!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Shoot!
Oh, my bad. I don't remember. Last
Think
last.
back to how did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, 𝒑𝒏𝒅.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No, there's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
No. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit!
She's getting so mad.
Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Okay, she won't give up, so then to do something to make her accept it. Ooh, replaying again. I'm doing these. E-handbook! E-handbook! Show us your handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name.
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is...
Celestia Ludenberg, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict
Oh, that's it. It tried to cover it up.
No, that's wrong.
The game gave it away. I knew that was it anyway.
That's
but
it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
yeah, it's absolutely vital to help the school life so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure to have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check our handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
She just admitted to doing
Fine
it.
then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
Okay, here we go. This is where we put it
And
all
that'll
together,
bring
right?
everything to an end.
Loathing argument. Okay. Hifumi met. Why is this in here? That was from a different one. So is this. Let me see what it is. This one's hard. I also don't know what Justice Hammer's revenge. I know what they know. This goes here. Just start eliminating some things. Oh, this is at 1. We'll figure out what goes there. They put him in the suit. We took the picture. We waited. We checked the time. Killed Taka with Justice Hammer. don't remember what these chips were for, but... maybe that goes there. The nurse's office. Covered himself in blood. I don't know what goes there. But I wish I could use chat. I wish chat could help me. We discovered them. We pushed his body into the other room. This is where this happens. So it must be these justice hammers that we find. I don't remember where we find each other. Maybe this goes here. So it goes all the way back here. More injustice hammers.
Here's exactly
This is
what
not
happened.
how it goes, but
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
I want to see how it plays out though, where I mess it up.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Okay, I might fail this because I only have half a heart left. Maybe this goes here.
Here's exactly what happened. First, they convinced someone to meet them.
Yeah, it was Makoto, blah 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 blah. Am I gonna have to do all that again, or is it... I guess I can just reset it.
I refuse to give up yet.
See, it's kind of hard to remember because I haven't done it in a while. Okay, I guess maybe we do it all over again. Okay, this goes here. I know that. Already forgotten. This goes here. Maybe this is... that? No, just kidding. Go back. Whatever. Where's the camera? This one is that. And the next one is Justice Hammer 4. found Justice Hammer 2 in there. And we found Justice Hammer 3. One at the same time. I'm really thinking about this. This goes there.
The killer is
Let's see if
you!
that works.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
What do you mean? What goes there? Maybe it's the confused one? Oh, it does go. Okay,
The killer is you! First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures
Maybe
they
I'm
took.
not wrong. Maybe this is right.
They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library.
I forgot about the attack in the library.
This
so I think I
time,
did get it
they
right.
planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds.
See, that's
that
a
the
lot of
suspect
talking
was
between the
increasing the
pictures.
size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. let out a scream to draw us back. And when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
This is pretty.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Dun dun dun.
I lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, 𝒂𝒉𝒆𝒓. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Oh my gosh, her accent's gone.
Interesting.
We did it! I probably didn't get a good score, but it's okay. Oh, I got an A. Yes! Nice.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote.
I love how he doesn't
okay?
rush us.
Okay.
He like lets
If
us
you
take our
would,
time.
Please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Here we go. Dun dun dun. It's basically a formality at this point, but once you again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was 𝒂𝒉𝒆𝒓, or more precisely, okay. I need to take it off of auto because I can't read that fast. I lost. Well, that sucks. I'm not doing her accent anymore because she doesn't have one. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would happily agree to commit a murder. I'm sure he relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then, did you use... you know... I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. What? For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Oh. Does she mean... Oh. I thought this was going somewhere else. My bad. She was talking about herself. Because Hifumi was like super into her. So, is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop. As usual. How sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one who stole it?
Indeed.
We're just admitting that alter ego is a thing right in front of Monokuma. I think that's super smart, especially when we get her back.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it'd disappear, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It's about what was stolen. I know who did it. What?
are you okay with
It
this?
was Taka. He stole it. I'm not doing your accent right. Don't come for me. What?
So then,
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him! But how did he do it? He was supposed to yell if either of us got too close to her. You're correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
Say what?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
as for me,
He came into my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
what?
What? Then he took pictures, and he said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. Oh my gosh.
Damnation!
That's a crime! An absolute crime! I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say what?
I never imagined he would go that far! It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't imagine how enjoyable that was. I think I read that wrong. Oh, I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him! I'm going to kill him!
most
not gonna say that
unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you'll be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka's planning to use her to escape. And he's made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... Taka is going to try to kill you. What?
indeed.
And so he can keep her all to himself. That bad guy.
Completely unforgivable.
You know what that says. I'm not gonna read it.
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear, I will.
I have to save her!
actually,
Then, would you like to join me? It just so happens I've come up with a plan.
Huh?
I would devise a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. All I asked him was to make something to hide the face or general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it!
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you'd actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him he'd be seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. He really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have been an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. Seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along? But of course. There would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can a human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things so far?
What the heck?
Was it really? Just for the money?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered that? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life began, my only thought was been to escape. But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little
Obviously that was a lie. Huh.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
You little
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you want to know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there is no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
It was all for that dream. And what is this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? Oh my god. I can't blame her, honestly. And to gather handsome men from all around the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was gonna make them dress like vampires and satisfy my every need. That's kind of everything. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life, there was my only dream, my only goal, and that was what life was all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but You were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me if I feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's why what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then,
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey,
You'd just get executed again. Celeste smiled then. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills! Chills!
You all done?
thrills!
Okay, let's get to rolling. The black can disturb the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Here we go. What's her punishment gonna be?
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What? Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way.
Oh, I was doing her voice completely wrong. It's okay.
Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
I like Celeste. She's a cool character. I like her design. Ooh, look at her dream! She's in the castle! Burning of the 𝒑𝒍𝒂𝒄𝒆𝒔. Is it really just gonna be her burning to death? Like, all the other ones have been so, like, crazy. So peaceful for her. She did say she was gonna burn someone else alive, didn't she? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. It lingered on that for a really long time. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so many more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young! You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about Hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. It's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but the reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you got some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
Oh gosh, he's a pervert. I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? A mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
See ya! Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There's one small hope. Hey, Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key Celeste gave to you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose it's sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. Can I save? How do I do it?
Hey,
Oh! I'm going on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining room. I'll check with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she quickly glanced at the surveillance clam.
Come on.
That's not what I meant. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Sitting here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm gonna go go to the dining hall. Huh? So you and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. Okay. Okay, guys. Calm down. Oh, there we go. I don't want to do all this right now. I want to save that for the next episode. Okay. So that will be the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry that I couldn't see any of the chats. Hopefully next time I can get it fixed. But if you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe because this is going on my YouTube as well. I'll just post the whole stream there, just in case you missed it. And we will play more of this in the future because I know you guys like it. So, yeah. Love you guys. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night or whatever time it is. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!